Hello, my name is Josefina Rocha. I'm a painter, as you can see. Our participants were Lisette and her daughter Luna, and then also Luna, who is at Barrios Unidos. Lisette is a mother, and she was residing in the Pajaro Valley Shelter Services. And then recently, though, she was in transition to housing, so she got her own place. So very happy about that for her. A big topic that I feel resonated with our conversations and our time together that I feel really was a big moving catalyst to what I created here was a lot of spiritual intention and presence and an exchange of energies. And there was just, I take a lot of, what stays in my mind is words and what is important to them. And I take that as a way to symbolize what I can create. So as we were talking, a lot of that did came up and you know, one thing that I questioned, like, okay, why am I here too? And why are they here as well? I feel like my first confirmation was when we contacted these people. And the first person we had a conversation with was Luna. And then when we went with Lizette, we found out her daughter's name was Luna. So it's like, okay, we're meant to be here. We're meant to be talking to each other. And so with our conversations, I felt like a lot of what home meant to us in the long run and in general as a whole direction to where we want to be on this earth is staying truth to ourselves, the truthfulness of, you know, who we are, our situations, because each and one of us has a different sense and truth to what home is to us and who we are. And that's a lot. Each of us, we have our own stories, and to be able to communicate with them is something really beautiful. And this is what I got from their stories. The moons, lunar phases, also because they're Luna, but also Lizette's daughter had a shirt that had lunar phases on it. I'm like, that's perfect. And the bottom is mostly gravitating towards, you know, what life has in store for us. And the mirrors is a reflection of each of us as well on this earth. And that we, in our own lives, are reaching for this foundation of home. And the tree is, you know, most buildings they have wood in them. So they're made of wood, but I also see it as a foundation, and it spreads into different directions as to what is important to us. What do we believe in? What experiences do we encounter? But all in essence, we feel secure if we have a place to live and if we have a home. And that's what we make of it. But into this reality that we live in, home is always there. And I, with my artist mind, I wanted to sort of incorporate that with Lisette and Luna. So I had more like this side gravitating towards Luna's story and words that stuck with me, and imagery that I felt was a repeating occurrence as well here with Lisette and her daughter Luna as well. But in essence, yeah, spiritual divination, if anything, for our encounters. Thank you. I don't know, should you talk and we'll do questions?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm super, super grateful to be here with Carmen Leon. Such a pleasure and a beautiful soul to be with.
Igualmente. My name is Carmen Leon, and where do I begin? This experience that I was invited to participate in was one of the more heart-opening experiences that I have had in my life. And I say that with honesty, in that even though I have worked as an artist and in the schools in Watsonville, and I was a hospice volunteer for many years, this recent crisis and the intensity of what it is to be homeless or without a house was relatively new to me in the sense of really understanding to what extent. So I really feel that I was gifted in this experience. And when I began, Josefina and I came relatively late into this project. And we were often asking each other, what do we do? What is going to happen next? Or how do we, deal with this? Because to begin with, our contacting Luna through Barrios Unidos was really a gift to us to be able to find someone who could really speak, what his life was about and what he was encountering. So I made this painting, and I felt when I was painting this that in a way I was acting as a scribe, recording what he was sharing. And so in some ways it was, I think, very literal. And then I found for myself something that I realized in what is home, that the word sanctuary is not really paintable. And I did everything else in what he shared, but that sanctuary part was not, for me, an actual possible thing to realize. So what we see here to begin with is what is home. Luna shared his finding of a bulb of a flower on the pavement. And he took that bulb with him to his home at the time, or his place of being housed. And from it came this flower. And in essence, I felt like that flower was portraying who Luna was wanting to express in his being as to what is being able to nurture and to bring forward. And in his talking, he also talked about what was home as far as being a nest, and his meditation and the drum he was drawing. All the time that we were talking, he expressed himself in different ways. He was talking and at the same time drawing or painting something. And so I felt like, when I say I was like a scribe, the brush was listening as we were all working together. And of course he talked about his Chinese lunar being the golden rooster. And so I reported everything, I think, in a way that I realized later, but this was just my attempt at trying to describe who Luna was and his situation. And when he saw it, he really responded here to Josefina, and he said, well, those are pretty. And I thought it's true, because I came up to this with being a scribe, reporting, and not, in a way able to go to that other part, because I was just hearing the different parts. And that is where I left it. And when we met Lisette, I really felt, as literal as it was, that hers was a statement of love and what she really wanted for her baby daughter. And what she had me really stay with was a teapot that she was given as a child. And she kept that teapot with her wherever she went, regardless of where that home was. And that was her home, always with her. And the rest of it is an interpretation of what she wanted more than anything was to create a life where she could provide for her daughter. And here in between was my hearing again what was the coming together of the nest, the flower, the heart, the house, and my feeble attempt at thinking of what is sanctuary, because that is not paintable. And of course, within us, or without that which it can hold is nature and life, and that's where I have the tree. that, I think, is the representation of what I here had to say about Luna and Lisette.
Question?
No questions? See, I'm complete. You said it all?
Question over here.
I'm curious why you think sanctuary isn't something you mean.
Well, I say that it is a place of refuge. And if you represent it, you might represent it as a house, but on the exterior, it looks like a house. A cave, the inside of a tree. When you go to Cowell, you can go to that giant forest, and there's a part where you can actually enter underneath the tree. That's why I said it. I don't know what sanctuary is to everyone.
Thank you.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you.